So we're getting in that time of year where people are starting to plan for their next competition season. And the question might come up, well, how much time should I allow for the prep? I've got 4 factors that should be taken into consideration as you're prepping for a natural bodybuilding competition. Stay tuned. Okay, so to start off, prep time is obviously very independent based on the person for a lot of factors. However, these next 4 things are consistent no matter what body type, what experience level, or where you're at in your training. So let's talk through these. So the first one is time is your friend. Okay, the more time you prep for a competition, the better. Many reasons about why this is the case. So first is, the longer you prep, the leaner you're going to be. You're going to be able to lose more body fat. The second reason is that you're going to be able to retain more muscle, which is going to enhance how you look on stage. And the third reason that time is your friend is because it's going to be easier on your lifestyle. If you can spread it out instead of trying to cram prep into, a short amount of time, it's going to work a lot better with all those other factors that you have going on in life. So the second thing you need to take in consideration as you are evaluating how long to prep for a competition is evaluating where your current condition is. And what I mean by that is, first, what is your metabolic capacity? Is your metabolism where it needs to be? Is it high? Are you going to be able to respond well to a diet? The second thing is that you want to consider is, what's your activity levels at? Are you doing a bunch of cardio right now? Because if you are, it's going to be really hard to add on much more cardio, which is going to really hamper the competition prep. And the third thing to look at as far as evaluating where you're at is, what's your bandwidth? What's your capacity? What do you have going on in life right now? If you've got a bunch of things going on, well, first, it might not be a good time to prep, but second, if you have a lot of things going on, you're probably going to need to extend that time out so you can fit all those other things in as you're getting ready for the competition. So the third factor to consider as far as determining your prep length is, how much fat do you have to lose? So there's a lot that goes into this. The first thing you want to do is figure out how much fat you have on your body. So you need to get a reliable body fat test. So, whether that's somebody experienced with skin calipers, a scan, something where you get a pretty good feel of where your body fat is. Now, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So make sure it seems right, realistic as far as where your body fat is. So now once you've got your body fat figured out, you need to figure out what your stage weight is, because if you have your body fat percentage, you can figure out what your lean mass is, your lean body mass. Now that's not your stage weight. That's if you were just, skin, bones, skeletal tissue. So it's lean mass only. And then you're going to be a small percentage above that with what your stage weight is. For men, maybe this is, 5%, 6% above that. For women, depending on your category, could be anywhere between 10, 12, 14, 16%. So figure out what that stage weight's going to be. Once you've done that, now you need to figure out, okay, how much time am I going to need to lose that body fat to get to that stage weight? So typically what I see is the maximum you can lose is 1% of your body weight per week. Now, that's a maximum. You don't want to bank on that because, you're not going to be able to always have 100% everything going just right, perfect. So usually going conservative is always a good method. So maybe go half of that, maybe 0.5% per week, something like that, maybe 0.8% maximum. Again, that way you can figure out what that rate of loss is going to be, from a week-to-week basis. Finally, again, you want to create some buffer here. So even though you've got your stage weight that you're predicting, you figured out how much fat you need to lose, you figure out how much time it's going to take you, you want to give yourself a window to have some flexibility. So again, here I'd say 10 to 20% of your time that you spend on dieting. So in other words, if you're going to be doing a 20-week prep, maybe add 10% on, so add 2 weeks. I would say a minimum of 2, maybe 4 weeks, but again, depends on how long you want as far as how long you need to add for that window of flexibility, just to give you kind of a safety net to make sure you're ready when you need to be there. It's always better to be ready ahead of schedule and eat up into your competition versus try to fast forward things through. Okay, now the fourth thing to consider when figuring out your contest prep time is after we've got those other 3 things figured out, You choose your competition wisely. Figure out which contest you get that, again, is going to give you that buffer to get ready for it and make sure that you're ready in time. You know, if you've got the flexibility, you can just simply start your competition prep and let your body tell you when it's going to be ready, but that might not be very doable depending on if you've got a tight travel schedule. You know, if you've got few competitions, maybe you're a pro and there's not a whole lot to choose from. But again, choose that competition wisely based on what those factors are that as far as how much time you need to prepare. As a summary, time is your friend, especially if you're a first-time competitor. This is a new rodeo. You're not really sure how your body is going to respond, so you really want to make sure you give yourself plenty of time. Also, take good notes. You're going to learn a ton every time you prepare for a competition, so that way every time you do it, it gets easier and you can get better. Hey guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button. Please share with others and subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, keep making every day count.